Welcome to the people of Portland and beyond, episode 26. Today in studio with me is Michele Venlee. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So, you are an actress?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of projects have you been working on?
Well, I can't necessarily say certain ones just because of NDAs, but I previously worked on The Librarians,
Nice.
one episode of that. And then I worked on Pretty Little Liars' new spinoff show called The Perfectionists, also one episode of that. And I kind of do a little bit of everything. I love auditioning for any type of role, and I've done like some voiceover work, and I did like a Instagram video for InStyle magazine that was just my voice. Also, randomly, a few years ago, I did a bunch of hand modeling, which
Very
was
cool.
like kind of funny. Yeah, and I did an ad for Nature Made and Sweet Tarts and things like that. So yeah.
How'd you get the hand modeling gig?
Just through my agent.
Nice.
For whatever reason, there was just a need for a lot of more hand modeling type of promotion and ads. And yeah, I guess I have good hands. I don't know. I never knew.
How did your agent end up finding you?
I actually went to PATA, which is a general audition every year. And a bunch of agents. It's a lot of theater. It's how the theaters around here cast. But in addition to that, casting directors and agents and directors for film, they'll go there too, just to spot talent. And after my audition, my general audition, they contacted me and brought me in, and I auditioned again for them and the owner of the company, and then they brought me on.
Nice.
This was about 2 or 3 years ago.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You really like it a lot?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, I knew I wanted to be an actor when I was 12. Is when I got the inspiration, and then I just started taking acting classes. And I'm originally from Maine. I was born and raised in Maine, and I just started doing a lot of the local theater there. I was homeschooled all during junior high and high school, so I was able to do like professional equity shows around the city, and then I eventually went to college for acting. And I can't really imagine doing anything else.
Yeah. So Portland versus Portland, which did you like better?
Well, surprisingly, they're actually pretty similar in terms of like nature, and the people are all very nice and relaxed too. I always have a soft spot for New England because that's where I grew up, and I don't know, there's nowhere like New England. It's just like a vibe that you can't really mimic anywhere else. But this is very close to how Maine feels as well, but much better winters.
When did you move to Portland?
I moved to Portland about, I guess it'll be 6 years this year. But I actually moved from LA. I moved to LA right after college. And then I was like,
similar. No. Yeah, I kind of did the same. I was in New York, and then I moved to LA, and then I moved here.
Yeah, because it's sort of like the way I saw Portland. Well, when I was trying to decide where I wanted to move after LA, I was obviously trying to find smaller markets for acting, but that still had quite a bit. And Portland's definitely, Oregon, Pacific Northwest is very up and coming for filming to come here, and I think more and more people are bringing filming here. And so when I was that was like my number one thing, was trying to find a place that still had that, but then I wanted something that felt a little bit more like the East Coast vibe without the winters, because I just can't do blizzards anymore. And so it's funny.
New York, extreme lows and extreme highs. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I've never been to New York in the summer. I'm actually trying to plan a trip there in the fall, I think, because I really want to check out Brooklyn. Brooklyn's like exploding with their food scene. And
The music scene is great. The indie music, if you like that.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
they have really good bands that play there. Like they have like basement. I don't know, like quarters for musicians are tight in New York City. So you
Yeah,
might
I'm
be
sure.
stuffed in a hot basement, but
Yeah, but it'll probably be a really good
it'd be
show.
the fall though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I just feel like there's so much, and I didn't really go to New York that often when I was
Yeah.
living in Maine, just because it was pretty far away, and just wasn't a place that I went, and so I feel like I didn't really get to experience it a whole lot, and now it's obviously changed a lot too. So
Yeah, I agree. I like the West Coast so much. Like
I do too. Yeah, it's as much as I have twinges of homesickness for East Coast. I just don't think I could ever live anywhere else but the West Coast.
I agree. There's nothing that beats it. I mean, where I'm living now, 15-minute, 10-minute drive to Forest Park where I have a garden.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Well, I love it too because it's like it is a city. Portland's a city, but
Yeah.
it also feels like very small and I don't know. Yeah, you can get everywhere like 10 minutes and
Yeah.
yeah.
You drive in Portland?
I do.
Do you like taking the Max ever?
When I first moved here, I did take it.
Mhm.
I didn't really grow up taking public transportation because that's just not something in Maine like it is in New York and Boston and places like that. So to me, I feel very uncomfortable
Yeah.
taking TriMet. But I did try to take. I took it a lot when I first moved here. But now it's sort of like I feel really strapped for time a lot of the time, and when I'm looking at like, okay, how long is it going to take to get somewhere on the Max or on a bus? I'm like, 40 minutes. Like,
I know.
or like you have to, nothing's direct. You have to take
They're not on time.
yeah. And then you have to take a transfer. And what if you miss that transfer? And it's like, well, I got to be here at this time. So yeah, I do drive a little bit more than I probably should. But in the summer, I definitely try to bike a lot. And if something's like even 30 minutes away, I might just walk because if it's nice out, I don't mind that at all.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Did you walk through Central Park in New York City?
I did. Yeah. In the winter.
Nice. Yeah.
Which was, I went, maybe like I guess now, wow, probably like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I went back home to Maine for Christmas and then did New Year's in New York. And yeah, it was beautiful. I grew up watching, those Christmas movies where everything's set in New York, and it was really fun to see like the Rockefeller tree and
did you go ice skating?
Yep.
Nice.
In Central Park. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I took a carriage ride through Central Park too. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Were you there alone?
No, I was with my boyfriend.
Nice. You guys still together?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How long have you been together?
It'll be 9 years this year. Yeah.
Common law marriage.
I heard that doesn't exist in Oregon though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, anywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys ever use cannabis?
Yeah. I haven't really used it like a lot. It wasn't really something that I ever did in high school or college a whole lot. It's like if it was at a party, sure. But now, I have like a vape pen, but I feel like now with all the dispensaries doing edibles, I kind of prefer that because I just don't really like inhaling anything. And the edibles are becoming very like strict, with like how much is in it. So it's a little bit easier to maintain than, you eat a homemade one and you're like, how much is in there?
Any dispensaries that you like?
I like Sarah a lot and Electric Lettuce. Yeah, they just came out with some gummies that are really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many milligrams? 50 being high. Right?
Yeah, that I take, or just how much is in the gummy?
I mean, I just remember that the 50 milligram ones or the 100 milligram ones are like more expensive.
Yeah, these ones were one gummy is technically like one serving, and I think they might be 5 milligrams, but I take like a sliver off of it because 5 is just a little too much for me for straight THC. They do have a lot of mixed CBD and THC ones as well. Yeah. but they're really tasty. You can't even taste the weed in there. So
Yeah, they're getting really good at that
mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you went to some Back to the Future event yesterday, right?
I did. Yeah. OMSI After Dark. It was OMSI After Dark. Great Scott. Yeah, it was really fun. They had a lot of lectures and demonstrations that were kind of, based on time travel, and they had one that was about manure or when Biff,
Yeah, I love that. It's my favorite movie.
Yeah, so it's interesting how they like tie in the theme to the demonstration. So that was manure, and so what they did was they had us they had like fresh berries that they let us taste, and then they had like little pictures of the vegetables and fruits with the pH level, and then they had like the soil where you could kind of see what the pH level was, and then you had to guess or determine where does this thrive in what area of Oregon, Central Oregon, or the Willamette Valley or wherever. And so it's kind of interesting. I love OMSI though. I mean, all their events are so great, and they do classes there. I'm a member there, so I'm.
Are you fascinated by time travel as well?
Yeah, I am.
So, did you like Terminator or Back to the Future better?
Back to the Future. Yeah.
I always thought there was holes in the Terminator time travel, the way they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never understood how John Connor could go back in time and, make his mom pregnant. It's like a time loop or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But I figured out like a way that it would work, but they're never going to write it into the story, though. I think they should. They should make it so John Connor's original dad was like killed the first timeline. So they had to go back in time to replace the dad.
Mm-hmm.
Now that would make sense.
Yeah.
And it would be perfect.
Right. Yeah. Have you thought about pitching that?
I thought about it, yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing a reboot, so.
Oh, are they?
I thought they were. Maybe they're just going straight to 5 now, but it's somewhat of a reboot. Arnold involved.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but there will never be a Back to the Future reunion.
Yeah, probably not.
I think I kept Googling it. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So neither is Lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That would have been a cool one. I was a Lost fan. Yeah.
I really liked the Faraday part where they were doing time travel.
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place to eat in Portland?
Ooh, it's so difficult. There's so many good places. So a restaurant that I really like is Jacqueline. Yeah. Really like Jacqueline. Nice. And during happy hour, they have $1 oysters, which if you're an oyster fan, it's really good. Yeah. Yeah, their food is just like really fresh. Their menu's always changing for what's in season, and it's just like it's just really well done. I also for something more low key, Taste Tickler is really good, which is like they're from New York actually, and so it's like kind of like a East Coast sub shop. Yeah, so it's the closest that I've found to like. Really?
I'm gonna go there for sure.
Yeah,
there's Charlie's Deli up the street from me, but
that was pretty good too. I liked that.
Not as good as the other one, I could imagine.
Well, like so for Charlie's, I'm not sure. Like I think I had like a kind of more like a pastrami or something like that when I went.
I always feel like the meat it's pretty good, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's something like missing New York style.
Well, for me, it's like the bread, like the sub bread. And then for me, I always kind of judge on like the Italian because that's, I
think like the amount of meat has to be a heaping amount or else it's not really like.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Is Elephant's Delicatessen like that? I've not been there.
No, that's more of like I would say kind of more like, maybe like more like a Jewish deli sort of. But yeah, what's interesting about Taste Tickler though is it's half sub shop, half like Japanese bento.
Yeah.
So it's cool. You can get like some dumplings with the sub, and that's really good. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Farmhouse Thai Kitchen. It's really good. I was really impressed with that food.
Another Portland Thai food lover.
Yeah. Yep. Can't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Yeah, oh, Bullard, over at the Woodlark Hotel is really, really good.
Nice.
Yeah, I went with some friends and we're all like, this might be the best dinner we've ever had. So
Did
would
you ever like
recommend that.
go out to eat and want to try to emulate that at home in the kitchen? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the things that I order when I'm out are things that I know I can't
yeah,
make,
yeah, it makes sense.
because I do like to cook and I cook a lot at home, but yeah, I feel like I generally, if it's like, well, if I'm gonna go out to eat, I'm gonna get something that I know, like I'm never gonna make that, or like,
Yeah.
yeah, right. I don't rarely cook red meat at home, so I like usually get red meat, and yeah.
I think I feel that way, except some things I was forced to learn how to make, such as bagels.
Ooh.
I just made
Oh, for New York,
Yeah, I
right?
just posted yesterday's story. I made bagels in the shape of people of Portland, like the letters.
Oh, cool.
So that was really hard. I'm never doing that again.
I would imagine that would
It'll
be
be a
hard.
cool post.
Yeah.
May do it for the Instagram promo image for our episode. We'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about it.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
had to learn how to make bagels because I can't find anything that really.
Emulates that.
There's like some places that come close, but just not worth it.
Yeah. What comes close here?
There was a place that was called. It wasn't Bowery Bagel. That's the place like right next to me. Kenny and Zook's is pretty good. That's the closest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this one called Henry Higgins.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't had theirs, but they have a location kind of where I live. So
Yeah, I'd check them out. They put sunflower seeds on their everything bagels, so that's really interesting.
Huh, that is interesting.
Yeah. The common problem with the Pacific Northwest bagel style is obviously they don't boil, but the second one is that they put caraway seeds on instead of salt, and I hated that ever since I moved to California.
Oh yeah, yeah. What about pizza?
Pizza, I've also had to make.
Yeah.
But I did find some good ones. Baby doll pizza, I really
Baby
like.
doll's really good. Yeah, I like baby doll a lot.
Before that, I was particular with SFNY, straight from New York.
Oh,
pizza.
I do like straight from New York as well.
And then Hot Lips, but it's way too expensive. So. Some people hate Hot Lips, but I think it's kind of like a New York slice. So.
Yeah, I also really like sizzle pie too. Also, I'm not sure if this is in the New York style, but Rovente. I really like Rovente. They have like a really spicy red sauce. It's really good. Pizza Week's coming up. I don't know if you
I'm gonna definitely
partake.
do that.
Yeah.
Usually, I think Pizza Schmizza has some kind of promo for that. They all do, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I read on your Instagram that once a week you're going on a hike. That is it's amazing.
Yeah, I already broke that. Last week I did not do it. Yeah. I feel like I try to be really ambitious every year, but for whatever reason it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I want to. I actually just bought this hiking book that I was hoping might inspire me, because I feel like part of the reason why I don't end up going on a hike is because it's the like trying to find the hike, like, how many miles do I think I can do that day, and like where do we go, and by the time like you're done you just don't want to go anymore, or it's like so late in the day that it's not really worth it. And but so I was like, I want to find a hiking book so that way I can just like open up a page, be like, okay, this is the mileage I want, go. And I found this one that there are hikes all over like Portland or Oregon, Washington, and Vancouver, BC. And but every hike ends at a brewery.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I was like,
good reward.
Yeah. So. But,
do you like the Portland beer a lot?
I do. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't like much of a beer drinker in LA. Wasn't much of a drinker at all really when I was living in Maine, but
that West Coast beer is more amber, which I like. I like the ambers. Like I hadn't even tried one on the East Coast before I came here, I'm pretty sure. Like it's very blonde over there.
Yeah. I really didn't drink beer at all in Maine. And then just like a tiny bit in LA, but it was like, Blue Moon. And then here, obviously like you need to, and now I like love it, obviously. And I discovered that I 100% favorite type of beer is a sour, and like super sour. I hate it when like a brewery is like, this is a sour, which I know is just the style of it.
Yeah.
But for me, if you're gonna call it a sour, like it needs to like be so tart that you're like kind of puckering, So
why is it that you like that style?
I don't know. I just like, it's just so good. It's sort of like sour candy, if you're like chocolate versus
A
sour candy.
warhead.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it doesn't ever get sweet at the end.
Right. Yeah.
So you also done modeling work, right?
Yeah, more like lifestyle kind of modeling, like for ads and stuff, not like runway. I'm too short for,
Yeah.
editorial.
Does
But
that same agent that does the acting? for
yeah,
that?
so they're a full service agency. So
Nice.
yeah, they do modeling, like lifestyle modeling plus runway. They do commercials, film, TV, and voiceover. So
That's
all sorts
cool.
of things. Yeah.
What's been your favorite voiceover work so far?
Um, trying to think. Most of the stuff I do is pretty like not necessarily fun,
Yeah.
It's more like I've done like a lot of like phone trees for companies and
Yeah.
things like that. I did narrate a short film documentary.
Nice.
That was pretty fun.
Cool.
So it was very like prose like, and I'm not sure if it's out. It was being submitted to festivals and stuff, but it was called this was a few years ago, so they might have changed the title, but it was called Dive One. It was a scuba, basically like shots of the ocean and someone scuba diving, and then there's like a prose that went behind it, and that's what I narrated.
Nice.
Yeah.
You also worked on Pretty Little Liars. What'd you do?
I was in one episode,
Yeah.
and I think I can say that well, I'm not sure if I should say.
Okay.
I don't want to
Did
get
you
in
meet any
trouble.
celebrities though when you were working there?
I mean, I talked to like one of the main stars, but just kind of in passing.
Yeah. What has been your favorite, like, no, scratch that question. 'Cause that's one of those things when I started the sentence and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna think of something. Didn't happen at
Yeah.
all. So, do you work with different photographers
For like
for
modeling or
Yeah,
for
or just who they assign you to, or do you ever do like free stuff? Like,
I haven't really done free stuff.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't really focused on that
Yeah.
really a whole lot. Just because acting has always been more of my focus. But I'm open to doing, more like, for my portfolio and for your portfolio type of shoots.
Yeah.
I'm totally open to that. I just haven't really pursued it really, just because of
Yeah.
other things. But
You were at Wonderly recently and you had some bee deviled eggs. That looks amazing.
Yeah, there's beets whipped into them, which is why they look so pretty. Yeah, their food was really good. I liked their food a lot. Yeah, I'm always trying to eat and drink as much of Portland's food scene as much as possible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you ever dabble in art?
Not really. I did art a bit when I was a lot younger. My grandmother's actually an artist.
Mhm.
And so I started doing that a bit, I don't know, in grade school. But I went through a lot of phases, at a very young age, trying to figure out the things that I liked. And art was one of them, music was one of them, and then acting just stuck.
And traveling?
Traveling. Love traveling.
How
Wish
many
I could do it more.
continents?
Oh no, not that many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do more international travel. I feel like I've been really focused on travel within the United States for whatever reason. It's just the way it went.
Yeah.
But now I do really want to focus on more international
Mhm.
trips. Just went to Costa Rica.
Nice.
Yeah, a few months ago, and that was amazing.
Was that work related?
No, just for vacation.
Mhm.
Get out of the winter for a bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
You ever like to play video games?
I don't really play video games. My brother is actually a huge gamer.
Yeah.
Like he always has been. I've watched a lot of video games just because of him, but no, I mean I played a little bit when I was younger, like things like the classic like Sonic and Mario Brothers and
Oh yeah.
and things like that. And then I watched him like play Resident Evil and all those. And
Which Mario Brothers though? The first one on Nintendo, the Super Nintendo one?
all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
The first one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Duck Hunt, things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my favorite Mario Kart though was on the Nintendo 64 because I
Mm.
loved the joystick on the controller.
Yeah, I got really bad when it went there. I was good at the Super Nintendo one. The hills for some reason screwed me up so bad.
Yeah, I just got one of those like little like generator Super Nintendos.
Yeah.
It like basically looks like it, but it's mini and it has
Nice.
like that's kind of fun to bust out every once in a while.
Yeah, for the first time in a while, I can't even remember, but I started playing on my Nintendo Switch because Tetris 99 is out, which is amazing. You got to try it. It's a battle royale Tetris.
Oh, I feel like I wouldn't be good at that.
Did you like Tetris?
I never really played it. I feel like the few times I did, I probably wasn't very good. I'm not like good at the like, I don't know. I mean, I would try it, but
yeah, I got 5th place. It was not even easy to get that high at all.
Oh wow.
It's like people are attacking you all the time, and if you get attacked too much, like it's over. Like you can't compete. So they also have a Nintendo emulator, and they have like 50 free games that you could just play at any time.
That's cool.
I was playing like Ninja Gaiden, Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3. It was fun. You ever try VR?
Not with games. I did they're at an OMSI event. There was actually a VR company that was there, and they were like, it was more of a world that and it was like pretty trippy actually. It was like this weird world where you were kind of like floating, like, but then like a glass bottom, but it was very interactive. So like lots of things around you could like touch and like knock over things or pick them up and drop them.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I don't know about like, I've heard of those. My brothers like showed me videos of people playing the like horror VR games where I'm like, oh, scary. Like really in it. But it's interesting. It's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch a Portland Winterhawks game?
I have.
Nice.
I think 2 so far. They're fun.
Cool.
Yeah. I like to try to see that kind of stuff. I also go to the Hops out in Hillsboro, the Hillsboro Hops.
What's that?
It's baseball.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had baseball out here.
Yeah. It's like
they have a minor league team out here?
The Portland Pickles.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the Hillsboro Hops, they're what do you call it? Like triple A or something like team. And I think they're associated with the Diamondbacks. I'm not sure about the Portland Pickles.
Okay. That's a funny name.
Yeah, they're out they're out where like the goats used to be, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. I went to one Pickles game a few years ago.
Maybe because cucumbers grow really well out here. In my experience, I grew cucumbers. I mean, for the last 2 years, no problem.
Oh, nice.
Do you like the garden?
I haven't really ever tried, just because I haven't really been in a situation where I had like a plot, of land or anything. I have tried to grow herbs like in my apartment. But I do have kind of a hard time keeping things alive. So I haven't actually really tried that hard to garden. Although I did just get a kind of like a palm plant that I haven't killed it. It's not looking the greatest, but yeah. So I'd like to. It's just my mom's really good at gardening. But I just don't know. I feel like I don't have a green thumb.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how strict would you say your parents were?
Oh, is 10 being like really strict?
Yeah.
Like 2.
Really?
Yeah. I was really lucky actually. And I never got into trouble. Neither my brother and I ever got into trouble for the amount of freedom that we had. But I feel like my mom was just like, you do whatever, just find yourself. Like, I went through so many phases. And I feel like other family members were like, why are you letting her do that? And she's like, she'll grow out of it. It'll be fine. Like, she's just trying to figure out who she is. Like, I went through like an extreme goth phase when I was in high school, and which was like really out of place in Maine. And I got she let me get my tongue pierced, and she just let me do like, as long as I wasn't like legitimately harming myself or other people, like she just saw it as like, you're discovering who you are, which I really appreciate, because
Yeah.
then when I got to college, and like a lot of people I feel like didn't know who they were, and then
And you're wasting all your time on job you don't like.
right, yeah, it's like, well, no, I kind of got to figure out who I wanted to be much earlier. So
You think it allowed you to dream and maybe like made it more feasible for you to be a model or actress because you actually believed in yourself more? Your parents weren't strict, so you could actually imagine like you would be a model or an actress and not like a doctor or something.
yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah. My dad never was like too pleased by it, but I was like, well, I'm also really stubborn, so
You thinking about having kids at some point?
I don't think I'm a kid person.
Mm.
I mean, obviously that can always change.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? Never say never. But for me, I just don't really have any desire.
Yeah.
And if like one day and I'm too old or whatever, like I would adopt.
Yeah.
So.
Back to time travel, like where would you go if you could go to one place?
Oh man.
Maybe 5 places. So it's not so.
Yeah, that's really. Yeah, I feel like everything would be in the past. Like, I feel like future's kind of scary in a way, especially now. It's like, what's the world going to be like? But I feel like I definitely love to see sort of that like flapper era, the Roaring 20s, and
would you like to just observe, maybe not like actually walk around and be noticed?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's hard to say. I guess I haven't thought about it that much. I would like to observe. It would be fun to take part, but then that gets a little tricky of what are you supposed to do? What are you not supposed to do? And then what if you make like real connections, and then, can you stay there or can you not stay there?
Yeah.
It's sort of like that Woody Allen movie, Midnight in Paris.
Mhm.
Had sort of that. Yeah.
At OMSI last night, did they talk about Quantum Leap at all? It's too old.
No. I guess I'm actually surprised that there was this one lecture. A physicist came and talked about a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
And time travel in movies, but he didn't mention.
What was something like really interesting they were talking about time travel?
To be honest, it went way over my head.
Okay.
Like,
it's very science.
Yeah, okay. He was like really. But one lecture actually that was really interesting was all about these two women came. They work for a company that I don't remember the name, but it's all about like researching and studying the impact of autonomous vehicles.
Yeah.
And their research is all seeing where they are right now, which I didn't realize there were so many already out there. But like, what the benefits of them? What is going to be the impact? And there was definitely some interesting thoughts that you might not even thought of.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any pet peeves?
Pet peeves.
It's like somebody's being noisy or something when you're trying to just chill at home.
I feel like they're more sensory. Like I really can't handle like loud chewers, but I feel like a lot of people have that problem.
I've heard that from a bunch.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a lot of driving pet peeves, or more like, I guess, road rage. But
probably coming from the East Coast, you expect more.
Yeah, well, you just expect like a level of, we all have places to be, where I feel like there's a lot of hesitation here, where it's like you can just go. It's fine.
Have you ever been down south?
I have. I've been to Athens, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Louisville, Kentucky, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. But I think that's pretty much it for down south. I would really like to go to Austin, Texas, and North Carolina. I'd like to check out too. It's the problem with like the whole. I really want to go international trips more, but there's also still so much to see in our own country. So,
what's like the most beautiful place that you have seen so far, though?
Oh, it's difficult. I mean, Costa Rica was amazing, like really, really beautiful. But Hawaii was also. I went to Maui a few years ago, and the sunsets there were just like insane.
Nice.
So probably toss up between Hawaii and Costa Rica. Probably Costa Rica being slightly above,
Mhm.
but there's so much more I want to see. I'm trying to I'm on the lookout for, I'd like to go on another international trip this year, but sort of more of a spontaneous one where I follow this mailing list called Scott's Cheap Flights.
Nice.
Yeah. And sometimes really good ones come, whether they're a mistake or they just happen to be really low at the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of on the lookout for something to just kind of pop through and then just maybe plan a trip a month in advance or something. But
Philippines can be as low as like $500 sometimes.
yeah,
It's
I was
amazing.
thinking maybe somewhere in Asia or Vietnam. I had some friends that just
Yeah.
went there and it looked amazing, so
Yeah.
amazing. And I really want to go to South Korea really bad. But my two bucket lists places that I want to go to and I'd like to try to go to really soon is
Yeah.
Japan and New Zealand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard there's some crazy stuff going on in New Zealand lately. That sucks.
Yeah, although they really handled it well, I think, with banning everything. And yeah, but that country looks just crazy beautiful and would definitely go to the Lord of the Rings sets and stuff. But yeah.
Why do you want to go to South Korea?
Their food scene just looks incredible. I saw Anthony Bourdain's episode, his No Boundaries show that he had. He had an episode in South Korea, and it just looked amazing. And just all their markets and street food, and I don't know why I focused on this, but I really love that in their culture, you never pour a drink for yourself.
Yeah.
It's all social. And I just love, there was one scene where they're just getting wasted on soju and because they just keep pouring it for each other. It just, I don't know, it just looks like a really vibrant city and really cool city. I'm sure it's super expensive, but I'd like to check it out.
Is there any sushi places you like around here?
I do really like Bamboo. I mean, I've gotten really, really into nigiri and sashimi. I don't really do the cut rolls.
Yeah, so much.
I really don't do the cut rolls anymore.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
They don't have what I want in them. It's like avocado.
You would just want the fish. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like Bamboo. I found it really hard to find that quality of salmon that they often have.
Yeah,
but also Nimble Fish was I've only been there once, but man, it's definitely a lot pricier because they're sourcing such amazing fish, and they get more unique fishes too, so it's a little pricier.
Yeah,
but it's so worth it. It was really good.
So how long have you been with your current boyfriend? Or you said 9 years?
Yeah.
Where did you guys meet?
LA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where? What was the circumstances?
Well, so he's from LA actually. Yeah. And his sister's an actor too, and we had been doing some work together, and I just met him at a Thanksgiving that she invited some friends to, and didn't really think much of it, and kind of randomly saw him
Would you
at different parties, or it's sort of a slow progression, because then I don't know, we would see each other at parties, and then we just started. Then he invited me to see a show at have you ever heard of the Magic Castle?
Sounds familiar.
So it's this really awesome place in LA. You have to either be a member or know a member to get in, but it's basically this castle on top of this hill, and it's just a place of magic. Magicians go there and they do all night long different rooms of different shows, from big magic to close-up magic, and it's just really, really fun. And but I believe the owners of the Magic Castle were doing this really special intimate show at their house, and his best friend had been I think interning or trying to get his membership at the Magic Castle, and he got invited because he knew one of the magicians, and he was just like, "Hey, I heard you like magic. Do you want to go to this with me? And then we
Yeah.
just kind of started hanging out more and more after that.
Nice.
But that show was really cool. Ryan Gosling was there.
Nice.
I met Ryan Gosling.
Was that the biggest celebrity you've met so far?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I feel like in terms of like actually meeting them, like this was just like he knew someone mutually as I did, so I was able to actually, that's like the biggest celebrity that I've actually met.
Soundtrack to Drive was so awesome. I love the intro and the whole thing. The 80s vibe is the best. Right?
Yeah. I only saw a movie once, but it was really good.
Yeah. I still have like the song. I could still like kind of. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I could still have the song in my head a little bit. It was like that good.
I should rewatch it. Yeah.
Yeah. At the time, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I just rewatched Little Miss Sunshine.
It
was such a good movie. It's funny though, because you don't really rewatch. I feel like most people don't rewatch movies anymore. Where back in the day, you would watch a movie like a million times, and now it's just there's just so much new content all the time that it almost feels like you're like doing something wrong by going back. And
you gotta have like a reason. Like Cobra Kai, I really want to go back and watch Karate Kid because I watched the first season. Second season's coming out really soon, and I want to get that backstory. They fill it in pretty well in the first season. But I really want to just check it out again. Yeah. Because I already watched the first season 2 times. Like, it's that good. It's like one of my, I think it's my favorite series of that year, last year.
I heard it. I had some friends that watched it and they liked it. Yeah. It's just like, even with shows, there's just so much that's like, oh, do I really want to add another show into
what do you like really like right now?
That's on right now.
Or just like,
or like coming back. Well, I really love Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
And
it's coming
Game
out
of Thrones. Trying to think what else. Like Russian Doll was really good. The Ted Bundy docuseries on Netflix. Yeah, that was like really, I'm a huge true crime fan. So like I'll like anytime something comes out, I'm like, oh man, I gotta watch it. But that one was really, really good. Yeah. I've been watching, I still haven't finished the second season of Ozark, but almost there.
That was good.
Yeah. It's just so much. I just saw that the new season of OA came out, which I want to see. So yeah, it's like, how much can you watch?
Right.
But I also feel like for me, it's also kind of like research too, seeing, what's out there. And I also just watched the first episode of Shrill last night, which
I still gotta watch that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It was good.
I've heard a lot about it. When you were in Costa Rica, you encountered monkeys. Were you that close to them?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
There was one point where they were like all in the trees and I was just taking a video. And my boyfriend was like, Michele. And I like looked behind and like one was like right there. And I was like, whoa, hi. Because they do get like a little handsy because they're used to tourists now,
Yeah.
And so they'll, one tried to open some guy's backpack.
They were trained?
No, I think they just get used to tourists feeding them, so they know like something's in there.
You weren't scared?
No, I mean, once I saw the monkey, I kind of like stepped back a little bit because I just, you don't know how they're going to react.
You have heard crazy stories growing up, though. Like everyone has, right?
Of monkeys?
Yeah, what they can do.
Oh, like the one that ripped off the woman's face? Yeah.
Like, that's the one you usually hear.
Yeah. Well, it's just also like, a wild animal. Like even we saw like a sloth up close and I even felt a little weird getting too close to that because you don't know how. And these are foreign animals too. Like you kind of know how a deer is going to react here, but you don't know like how a sloth's going to react.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Yellowstone?
No, I want to though. I really want to. Definitely like haven't hit up the national parks enough. I'd like to do a road trip down to California and do like the redwoods and more because I haven't even seen like I didn't really travel a whole lot when I was living in LA, so I didn't really see a lot that this state has to offer either. So there's just so many places.
Seriously.
I wish I could be a full-time traveler.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you'll get some jobs.
Yeah.
Modeling and acting.
Yeah.
Just
also
request.
Yeah. Like, can you shoot it here?
Yeah, I think I mean, I talk about this guy all the time, Ari Shafir. Like, he has an agent that just looks around all
Oh.
over the world, basically places where he can play, and
Mm.
maybe not even that much money, just break even, just so you can travel. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I was always like thought it would be fun to be a travel host, on like a travel channel
Yeah,
show. I always
like a
thought that would be
Bourdain type
fun.
thing.
Yeah, or like some of those more like travel channel ones, like not Andrew Zimmern. I wouldn't eat bizarre foods, but
Yeah.
there was this one woman that did like she was like all over Travel Channel when I was younger. I think her first name was Samantha, but she did like she would have like certain seasons of different things. Like all this one is our cruises, and all this one is hotels, and she would just like travel everywhere. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's probably a pretty fun job.
If you could get rid of one state in the United States, which state would that be?
Oh
I know what mine
man.
is. So while you're thinking, I would get rid of Iowa immediately. Reason I would do that, they pulled me over one time with my brother for no reason, just because I looked shady or whatever.
Oh.
Long hair.
Yeah.
And it sucked. And they ended up smashing my bong, and it was crap.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been to that, to that many states to be like, I would get rid of this. I don't know. I mean, I'm just I guess maybe like Oklahoma. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
that's
that
a
I've
good
been
no.
there, but
I've been there a couple times. I'd
yeah,
agree with
I've
you.
heard stories. I do have a friend that lived there for 2 years, and she'd probably agree with me.
Yeah.
I've heard some bad stories.
I went through couchsurfing.org. I'd stayed there, and I just like drove through Oklahoma City, and I was like, I think it's the capital, right? Or either.
Yeah.
I was just like, how the hell is this like a major city? It looks so just run down and ugly. I don't know. It just wasn't anything beautiful about it. And I was just driving by a lot of big box stores. It was all commercial. I was like, no, I don't like Oklahoma at all. And I guess I could travel over different parts of it, but
yeah.
I don't know if it's flat, totally flat, but like I drove through Kentucky, Nebraska. Those just boring states to drive through. I don't know. You get bored.
Yeah. Did you drive all the way from New York to?
I've done it 5 times.
Oh wow.
Plus.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I still like a lot of my stuff because I just flew to LA and then whatever I had in LA, I drove here. But so like a lot of my stuff's still at my parents' house, and I think about sometimes like, oh, maybe I should like go and get a U-Haul and then like do the drive because it'd be really cool to do a cross country drive. But it seems kind of intense.
You should do it at least once, but maybe not twice.
Yeah, 5 times is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you get sick of it.
Yeah.
You like dogs better or cats?
Cats.
Correct answer.
Yep.
What's your cat?
I do like dogs, but
what's your cat's name?
Her name is Mitzi.
Why'd you name her Mitzi?
It was actually already her name, so
nice.
Didn't change it. Yeah.
The current cat I have, Lucy. I mean, her original owner named her Lucy, but I named her Lucrezia before I had adopted him from him. So I was involved in the original full name.
Oh, nice.
And when she's bad, I'm like, Lucrezia.
Get over here right now.
You got to call your cat by their last name and first name.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's something unique your cat does or funny? Anything?
She's really talkative. Like, she's super loud. She meows like just all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, which I feel like is kind of unusual. Like, it's more of a scream, but yeah, she's a pretty unique cat in general. Cool. She's a tortoiseshell, so I feel like tortoiseshells are a little more different.
Does she got a lot of hair?
She doesn't really shed. I mean, she's kind of like a medium-haired cat, but not really shedder. Yeah. Yeah, the short hair ones, I feel like definitely shed a lot.
Yeah, I was just using this brush on her today.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty amazing because
it pushes it out. That's nice. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, I don't brush her enough. I probably should, but
I don't either. So today I was doing it and I was like, oh my, what the? It was like so many hairs. There must have been like maybe 10,000.
10,000 hairs. Yeah, no, I'm sure it can get pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I a childhood cat that I had growing up. She was a short-haired white cat.
Yeah.
And she shed so much. So you just know, like, if you were wearing black pants, like, you would just have like this circle of white fur
Yeah.
on you. So I definitely know.
Does your
It's
cat
like-
sleep on your bed?
Mm-hmm.
Mine too.
Yeah, makes for a lot of sleepless nights because it's just
Oh.
like, you know, they say I heard some article that said that pet owners get significantly less sleep than
Yeah.
people who don't have pets, and I believe it for sure.
I mean, check out what you did to my arm.
Oh,
It's like a scar right there.
oh
I know.
no.
I don't know when that happened. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she did it. She must have.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get stuff all the time from my cat likes to bite too.
My
So.
cat was wild, so yeah, she'll like
Mm.
start swatting at you if you pet her for more than like 5 minutes sometimes.
That's how like my
Yeah.
cat is too. Yeah. My
She'll-
cat's like the happiest right when I wake up
Yeah.
and right when I get home and right when I'm about to feed her. And then after that, it's sort of like hit or miss.
Does she start licking your hand when you pet her? That's what my cat likes to do.
No, she does not.
Just
But
to
yeah, your cat did that to me actually too.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you get like a local brew, do you prefer the flight? I think I do because I like to try different
Yeah,
kinds.
I especially new breweries, I'll always get a flight.
Yeah.
If I've been there a bunch of times, then I might just get like what I know I like. But
Mhm.
I do prefer a flight. It's just
Nice.
fun too to be able to try more things.
You like mead wine, huh?
Yeah, I kind of like everything to be
Nice.
honest. Like all alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like I've gotten really into sake recently too,
Yeah.
which I never liked. I was just talking about this with someone last week
Oh,
about how like I never
nice.
liked sake ever. And then I don't know, I just developed a taste for it. And now I actually even just like it even when I'm not having sushi. I like to just drink it.
Yeah. Have you ever tried pear sake?
Mm-mm.
I tried one at a local Portland sushi restaurant and it was so good.
Ooh,
You
sounds
should
really
check
good.
it out for sure.
Yeah. I've gotten really into the Nigori, like cloudy sakes that are unfiltered. I really
Nice.
like those a lot. And last year around this time, I went to Vancouver, BC.
Yeah.
I went to Granville Island, and on that island, there's actually a Canada sake maker, and they actually created the very first rice paddy in Canada, and that's where they get
Nice.
their rice from, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you think you would ever make your own sushi?
I have.
That's awesome.
I have a couple of times. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's really hard. That was just doing the cut
Yeah.
rolls. I feel like maybe like, oh, it's just, I don't think I cut the like, you know, because the way that you cut it.
Yeah, I heard from The Simpsons if you don't cut it a certain way, you'll die. So
Oh,
is it risky or
yeah.
what's the deal?
I think it's just more, it's tough, you know?
Yeah.
The sushi, not so much, but I also made homemade poke last year. And that, like, I definitely think the way you cut it could be tough because there were a few pieces where I was like, that's not right.
There's not going to be like a toxic part of the fish, or how does that work?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Was that the episode? It was like a blowfish? Because I know like a blowfish, it's toxic if you eat like a certain part.
Okay.
Might have been that. That sounds
Okay.
familiar to me.
Yeah, that was like one of the best Simpsons
Yeah, that was like
episodes.
yeah.
Who's your favorite Simpsons character?
Lisa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I've seen it in a really long time,
Mm-hmm.
but watch more Bob's Burgers now.
Yeah. I stopped watching, but that was funny at the time.
Yeah.
They do like a live stage show, Bob's Burgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah. The guy from Wet Hot American Summer or something, he's in that. Like he's like the can and he talks or something. Like Bob.
Oh, right. Yeah, I saw that.
You can
Yeah.
instantly recognize.
Oh, yeah. His voice is like super
like, oh,
recognizable. Yeah. That was a fun reboot.
I don't think anyone talks like him. How do you do that?
I don't know, but it's definitely getting work. Also, like the woman who does the voice of Louise on Bob's Burgers, like very distinct voice. You can hear her in anything, but it's, I mean, it's great for her. It's, I feel like those are the kind of voices you want on cartoons. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess we should end it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good interview, I think.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you came on. And
yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, hopefully once the NDA clears, maybe you could come back and we could talk about it some more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably making too big of a deal of it. I just don't want to get like in trouble, you know?
Yeah.
But
true, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.